customers are facing a different tipping culture compared to even just a few years ago.
And a recent study showed Americans are actually tipping less. Here to talk about ways to manage tipping, Josh Elledge, the savings angel. We're so happy to have you here.
Yes.
Welcome back.
This is a hot topic. We were talking about it all during the commercial break. First of all, start out and tell us, what is tipflation?
Yeah, so much like inflation, shrinkflation, we've seen where they, shrink packages to try to squeeze consumers. Tipflation is something that we've seen come about more popularly during the pandemic when we recognized, who our important service providers were. And it was a great way to maybe add some quick additional compensation for those people that were truly, heroes during that time. And it's just kind of stuck with us. And now consumers are a little like, this doesn't feel good. And it really comes down to the psychology of why people tip. In the United States, it's really interesting when you look at like why people tip or not. It has so much more to do with how someone wants to be perceived, a consumer wants to be perceived rather than actually tipping for a job well done. So that's why we were talking about this. People are very passionate about this subject because they have some strong opinions on it.
Well, I know that like if they flip the iPad somewhere and there's an option to tip, I feel like, I have to tip, or they're going to be like, she's not nice.
Right. And that's kind of what you were saying.
Yes.
It's almost a psychological thing.
Yeah. So here's kind of a couple of rules of thumb. First off, get familiar if you need to refresh on what the etiquette is, because there are many people in the service industry, they're not getting paid anywhere close to minimum wage because they're expected to earn their compensation in tips. Never, ever, ever stiff somebody that relies upon that work. Even if the service is bad, if you need to handle that with a manager, don't short the wait staff, because that's just what they feed their kids on. So make sure you never do that. That's number one, is make sure you're familiar with what the tipping standards are. Number two, you being prompted to tip is not necessarily the guide for when you should tip. So for example, things like tip jars, and when they flip, if I grab something out of the cooler, I bring it up to the register and I check it out, and then they flip it around and say, do you want to tip me $1 for grabbing that can out of soda and checking out? You're under no obligation to tip. So being prompted for it is not the rule. And you should not feel guilty. You do not have to feel guilty for not tipping if that is not appropriate. Now, that said, you should be I am of an opinion that everybody should be a generous tipper, and that we should look out for each other. And tipping is a great way that we can all kind of look out for each other and reward great service.
I feel like, go ahead.
No, I was just asking, have you seen the percentage go up? Because now, in my head, I was thinking, okay, it used to be 15 to 20%, but now on some of these iPads, it goes up a little higher. So has that changed?
But see, that's part of the psychology too. And again, so if you're familiar, again, a lot of your tips are going to be in that 15 to 20% range. And most etiquette experts would say that that hasn't really changed. Maybe it's creeped up to 20%. Again, usually, and again, most etiquette experts agree 15% is what you pay for standard, average, typical service, like in a wait, in a waiter or waitress situation. 20% is what you would pay for above average, and then feel free to go anywhere above that based on the level of service, and that's just, again, in America, that's just the way that it is, right or wrong.
So I feel like having you here, I'm just kind of trying to like organize my life and work out my own things. So for example, if you're at a business and you don't know, like you mentioned, some of these service industry workers make $2 or $3 an hour. Say you're at, your dog daycare and you have an option to tip. Can you be like, hey, where do these tips go? Or do we, you want to, obviously, people are taking wonderful care of my son, so I want to know,
is it going to just the general?
Do they need these tips? Are they living off of these tips? Like, is that rude to ask?
So naturally, my bias is I'm a consumer expert, and I always want consumers to know what the deal is. And so, part of that is, number one, being aware about our own psychology and our own, why am I tipping? Am I tipping because I feel guilty, or am I tipping for good service? So being mindful of that. But number two is being aware of the rules. So for example, when they add service fees or delivery fees, does that go to the service provider? And as a consumer, please do ask.
Okay.
And any employee is going to be delighted to let you know.
Yeah, but they probably
whether or not
appreciate
they get that.
Yes.
Yeah. Because listen, I don't. Again, I did some asking about this on social media, before this segment, and I think generally people don't want to tip the man, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But we do want to tip each other.
Right.
And I think that's great. But awareness is so important because heaven forbid you would be in a situation where someone is absolutely expecting and it is absolutely normal for them to receive gratuity and the company takes it. I think a lot of us are fearful of that. So please, yes, I think what you just asked is brilliant. We should all just throw that extra question in there, even if it's awkward to ask. It's better to ask and then no rather than not ask and then,
Right, especially someplace where you love your service and you want to make sure that, everyone's taken care of.
That's true. And then I know some places, like maybe in Europe, they don't tip. They just have everything kind of in the prices already. Yeah. Does that work in certain cases?
Well, that's really interesting because when they've done, there's some notable stories out there of restaurants who said, you know what, we're just going to pay everyone a living wage. And consumers had a tough time with that.
Because prices went up, right?
Prices went up pretty significantly. And right now, today, it's not that can't work. We're in a free market, so we could try whatever and see how it goes. But yeah, there's some notable examples where that just didn't catch on. But maybe that will change in the years ahead as consumers' minds change.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one stressing about tips sometimes. It seems like it's a general...
Yeah.
The tipflation's real.
Let me give you the savings angel absolving you of guilt.
Deal.
Don't tip for guilt. Tip because we want to celebrate other people, and we truly want people who deserve to get paid well. They should get paid well.
We could talk to you all day. We just love you. Okay, so people who want to follow more Savings Angel tips, where can they find you online?
Yeah, so you could just search Savings Angel online or savingsangel.com. Come find. I've been doing this for 16 years. And again, my main thing is normally helping consumers, save money and get hookups on everything that they do in life. So
yes,
it's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. We adore you.
Thanks, Josh.